Let's get into it. Japanese Grand Prix, the home race for the guy we've been talking about all the past 2 weeks, right? Yuki Tsunoda making his Red Bull debut. First practice, P6, 18th in FP2, and 15th in Q3, or qualifying. So what did we learn here? What did Helmut Marko do? What was the decisions along this? Let's start with this, Esha. Has Yuki's performance eased the pressure on him to perform, or do we feel like this is building something maybe more uncomfortable here for race time?
I feel like I'm afraid to say that it's the second option, Jackson, because, first practice, he performed well. Second practice did not go so well. Third practice, he did good. And then quali, not so well, right? So we're seeing this strange pattern. It's hard to predict how the race is going to go. But I think that he's under a lot of pressure, definitely. Because if you think about it, Yuki Tsunoda is the replacement's replacement, right? And Red Bull's decision was quite rash. A lot of people were questioning it. A lot of people were also questioning the fact that they chose Liam Lawson over Yuki Tsunoda at the start of the season. And so I think Yuki is under a lot of pressure right now, and he has to perform well in the race. I'm optimistic. I think that he will be able to score points, but I think it's a little bit confusing given how the weekend has gone for him. But as for your question, right? I think it's definitely a lot of pressure he's under right now from the team, from the entire F1 community, and from himself as well.
Jess Ball.
Well, I have to agree with you in some sense that there's going to be a lot of pressure. Of course, Liam Lawson has not delivered over the last few races, and I still think it was a bit too soon for the driver swap. If the driver swap happened, it should have been halfway through the season, if anything. But Yuki Tsunoda, I felt like at the start of first practice, he was delivering, he was performing, he was showing that he could match the times close to Max Verstappen, but you all got to remember, Liam Lawson and all the second drivers in the past have had pre-season testing to get used to a Red Bull car. Yuki Tsunoda has just had 3 practice sessions and a qualifying session. To me, it's not enough time. So I feel like that he's probably going to have a little bit less pressure than some of the other second drivers in the Red Bull family. But if Yuki Tsunoda does not score points this weekend in his home Grand Prix, then questions may be asked about the second car. We don't know, but he is starting 15th. It's going to be hard for him to get past a few cars. He is starting just behind Liam Lawson, so that's going to be a test on whether the RBs are going to be a better car compared to the actual Red Bull. So I just feel that there's still going to be a lot of pressure, but based on a few practice sessions in FP1 and FP3, it's been looking very good for Yuki. But he's got to get points this weekend, definitely.
Nicole.
Oh, I think we all know that second Red Bull seat is just a pressure cooker to begin with. There's no denying that whoever is in that spot just has basically the weight of the world and Max Verstappen on their shoulders, and there's no getting past that. So I can't imagine a situation in which Yuki just thinks that this is just like a walk in a park. He's going to have to prove himself this weekend. I think Red Bull is looking for him to prove himself very heavily. And I think no matter the outcome, they're going to most likely be relatively pleased, just given what we've seen throughout the duration of the race weekend and the way that Christian Horner has been speaking about Yuki and his performance on track with the media. But regardless, I think Liam Lawson is going to be looking at this. I think the rest of the world is going to be looking at this and kind of really trying to figure out what Red Bull's next move is going to be, because regardless of what happens, this race will kind of decide not only Yuki's fate with the team and potentially his future, not only with Red Bull, but in the future Formula One, but also kind of as an outcome, figure out what's going to happen with Liam Lawson for the rest of the season.
Esha.
Yeah, so my point on this, they are starting next to each other, or at least they are starting one behind each other. So we're probably going to see, hopefully, an epic turn one overtake or battle happening with those two drivers, with the battling happening on track and again happening off track with that second Red Bull seat. Obviously, yes, as we talked about, this is building a lot of pressure because at Red Bull, anything can happen. You can be swapped no matter what. That's something we see in these past couple of years. One thing I do want to know, it is going to be raining, or there's rain in the forecast for Suzuka. So could the rain be a great equalizer to see who is more deserving of that seat? Let's see. We definitely seen Max Verstappen. He having a little bit, not a hard time. He's still able to make it onto pole, but he's elated to make it on pole position in that Red Bull. So let's just see if the machinery is up to par with both drivers, but we'll see when the lights are out.
Totally agree. And, you guys have heard enough smoke going towards Christian Horner and Helmut Marko from 900 different people, so I'm not going to add on top of that. But it goes to show, I think, what stands out to me is if this doesn't work for Yuki, what other options do you have? You maybe have Ayumu Iwasa and some other people waiting in the wings. I think maybe Franco Colapinto could possibly be an option, but you've got Jack Doonan now waiting in the wings, and obviously he's had a little bit of an interesting weekend. We'll get into that as well. I don't think it's going to be determined this weekend, but I think it's absolutely going to set the tone for however this is going to go out and how his tenure, no matter how long it's going to be with Red Bull, it's going to set the tone for, that entire career with them.